Hi everyone, sorry I had to do 2 videos, but there's something's going on with my phone and that's where I do all my stuff. I only got like 22 minutes for some reason. I'm having a problem with storage and it's all shutting off. So I'm going to run through this as fast as I can so that I can give you the astrology. Hugs and kisses. Alright, you've got Uranus moving into Taurus on the same day as the new moon. Very powerful energy. Uranus, independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. If it's feeling like it's in a cage, it's going to come out. As we move into Taurus, it's starting to show us how to turn that energy into self-worth, self-value, self-esteem that will help benefit us. Basically, the new moon is there to help shine light on it as Uranus moves in. And this will be the beginning of another cycle. Not just like Chiron, but Uranus will be in Taurus for, I believe, 6 more years. So you're starting off right here. It must show you where it's lacking before the self-worth, the self-value, and the self-esteem can start to come forward. Plain and simple. This is called reassessment, honey. This is a lot of shadow and a lot of ego. You need to be moving away from it. And that's what's being brought up so it can teach you what you need to be moving away from. Now, oppositions for this week, or challenges for this week, is Haumea, which is your collective consciousness, is speaking to Eris, which is the goddess of resentment and revenge. Okay, these two are in a conversation trying to show you what it is that's making you feel in any areas where that Uranus energy, your independence, your individuality, your freedom, your uniqueness is lacking. She's pointing these out. She's still showing you where she's pissed off and holding on to that resentment energy. She's bringing it up to help you overcome and move over this obstacle. Also, your collective consciousness is talking to Ceres, which is speaking to where you weren't properly nourished or where you need to be nourished. Because where you were nourished or where you were not properly nourished. But in opposition in a square, typically it's going to be showing you where you were not. And it's going to be bringing the threefold theory and karma with it. So it's going to be that little bit of too close to home feeling. And it's also speaking to Saturn, rules, walls, boundaries. Where is it that collective consciousness is showing us that we don't have them set right? Basically, there's your main oppositions. Make is the lotus flower. I always say make is the lotus flower. Are you in the muddy, murky water? Are you coming to pass into the air and you're coming out of that muddy, murky water, or are you lifted above and finally blooming? It is speaking to Chiron, the wounded healer, and it is asking you what it is that you're not healing from. And where are you on that lotus flower energy? Are you still in the muddy, murky water? Are you finally starting to break through? Or are you finally blooming? And if you're not blooming, why? Okay, that is what Chiron is going to be asking. That's in your universal house, of your universal first house. Like I said, these are new cycles beginning, and it's going to take some time for that reset to take place. I mean, and that's why these energies are like, right now, because they have to shift. You cannot come into self-worth, self-value, self-esteem that starts to work for you in a number 2 energy. Because that's really what this year is, number 2, until you start to see these areas for what they truly are. Now, you also have Venus in Gemini is questioning and not getting along with Neptune. So sensitivity is having a conversation with magic. Are you creating from new magic? Or are you still holding on to the past and what never really truly was, or what you wish it was and you're still a little bit delusional about? And you're trying to recreate a cycle that's going to go nowhere. Sensitivity is going to be talking to you. Listen to her. Sun is in Taurus, speaking to Jupiter. The sun is speaking to your higher abundance, your knowledge, and the magnet, basically, of where the soulfulness can be. And it is speaking to us of how we can recreate ourselves and the core. But our ego is going to get in the way. These are points that we have to look at as we come into this new moon. Now, the moon is going to be in Aquarius on Monday and Tuesday. So that's where the rebel within starts to come out. And it is going to be very sensitive and dealing with some of that areas of where you were nourished or not nourished, of the sensitivity of the threefold theory, the karma, because it's speaking to Ceres. And then the moon is in Pisces on from Wednesday through Friday for the most part. And so we want to believe things are better. We want to believe the good in people. We want to have compassion, which is a wonderful thing. However, know the truth. Know when somebody's taking advantage of you, because it happens easily when the moon is in Pisces. And your sensitivity might be being in question right here. So you need to listen to your intuition, into your gut feeling, and allow Venus to speak to you and lead you in the right direction, because you might feel the idea to want to believe in somebody maybe who you shouldn't. Now, you also have Aries. The moon is in Aries, where you get more bold, more fire energy, more ready to start anew and go forward. And that's as we're coming closer to the new moon. And you're going to be questioning that energy, because the moon is questioning Pluto and the moon is questioning Saturn, which are both in retrograde. So they're highly motivated inwardly right now for death, decay, and destruction, for change, to create the rebirth, renewal, and regeneration, along with those rules, those boundaries, and those walls. Your moon, your emotions, the depths of who you are going to be dealing with those deep questions. Now, as we move into the positives, though, you have Lilith and Pluto are talking to the sun, which is in Taurus. So it's going to be in a positive way, being able to really make those walls, not those walls, but start to, Pluto in retrograde is like, I'm kicking down the door and I'm not taking this shit anymore. And it's talking to the sun of how can you finally stand firm in a positive way that still makes you shine and be exactly who and what you want. So it's speaking to our outer community, our jobs, our outer community, as well as our goals of pushing us in that right direction. You have that power drive behind you. Neptune, though, is also speaking in a positive way with Jupiter. So Jupiter is fueling the higher knowledge, the higher abundance, and that magnet energy to Neptune to be able to create, to be able to bring that new in, to start from learning from what did not work. So there's only one reason you want to look behind, is to see what did not work, and then look away and move forward. Leave the past behind you. Don't get stuck in the middle. Create for new magic. Don't create from old and try to start the same cycle again. It will not work. You have a lot of sextiles this week, which can mean things can be very powerful and positive to help move us forward if we don't get lazy. Pluto and Lilith is also talking to Scorpio. It is talking to that universal 8th house of what it is relationships are responsible for, like your children, rent, taxes, cars, what it is the relationship is responsible for, your workly duties. You know, what is it they're responsible for? Death, decay, and destruction, renewal, rebirth, and regeneration. The change that takes place in bringing that new energy in, that new fertility in, the new creation in. It's a positive energy that can come out right now. Pluto is also talking to Neptune. Like I said, bringing that energy forward so you don't mess up and go back on what wasn't ever really good for you. What, you know, the delusional area of where you want to believe something was better than it was, you know, in the past, because you have a way of doing that. We all do. Pluto is also speaking to Chiron about seeing what the wounded healer needs to help us move forward. So take some self-time here to self-evaluate soulfully exactly where you want to take this. Now you also have Neptune talking to the sun. Neptune is trying to also help you fuel yourself so that you can shine truly. But, like I said, you are going to have those shadow energies, seeing if you're ready to move forward. Like I said, babies, every time it's time to take the test, the teachers go silent. And we're looking into, are we really starting that new cycle and moving forward? Or are we able to get tripped up and find ourselves on the same path again? Because we didn't actually go anywhere. Also, you have positive energies coming in on the 8th and the 12th, which are going to have some trines in them that is going to help bring that sensitive energy, your core energy, and the ability to create forward, basically, as well as start to come over and move over the obstacle of it deals with Sirius also and the North Node. So as long as you're able to turn that into energy that will move you forward, because the North Node is always going to be teaching you what it is you need to learn, or you're not moving forward. I love you. See you next week. Bye.